caveat to all my stolen Africans here in racist America. So I have another great book to review for you all those who are descendants of the original stolen Africans from the motherland. Now, I noticed I've been getting a lot of KBs coming to my channel. I don't know why you guys are here. It's this channel is not for you. But say your hate, spew everything you want. I don't ban, I don't block, I don't censor, because I want all of the Africans to see you in your pure form. I want them to see just how ignorant you are. I want them to see the savage things you say to me. And I have gotten a lot of threats, and I have a lot of KBs call me names. And I don't care. You know what I'm saying? You talking about me is, just like getting a little tiny little ant bite. It's like, I don't care what you say to me. It doesn't bother me at all. I'll just squash you and keep on moving. But the way you're acting is because you know that the truth hurts. That's the only reason why you're acting this way. The truth hurts, and it really bothers you that I am waking our people up. And you know that your time is limited. And you think you're going to hide behind your President Oompa Loompa, aka Trump? Trust me, his time is limited too. He will be impeached. He will be impeached. And we will put Obama back in office, because when you realize that the election was rigged and that it was done in a corrupt way, and I'm not going to say Russia did it. Russia had nothing to do with the electoral system and the electoral voting system. It had nothing to do with our voting process. It had everything to do with the racist people who do the counting and who oversee the machines that we use to vote. So no, this has nothing to do with Russia. It was racist KPs who got our President Oompa Loompa into the Oval Office today. So that will be undone. He will take Pence with him. And of course, Paul Ryan needs to go someplace else. Remember when Paul Ryan had that beard? That's his true nature as a cave piece. All cave piece need to wear the beards, so we can see you look just like your ancestors. But anyway, I got way off topic here. Let me get back on the topic of my favorite book right here. This is by the leader of the Hebrew Israelites, Ben Ammi Israel. He is the leader of the Hebrew Israelites, which are the true Jewish people, not these hook-nosed, white, crazy talking cave beasts that you see today. They're not the real Jews, okay? And the whole Holocaust thing never happened, okay? The whole thing is just them trying to play a victim, trying to play up to victim and have the whole world feel sorry for them as they perpetuate this lie about them being the Jews and the original chosen people of God. And that's not the case. And this is the reason why we are the chosen people of God. Now, I don't agree with everything that his Hebrew Israelites say, but I do agree with this book right here. So I'm going to talk about the things that I like in reference to the Hebrew Israelites, and I want you to start reading some of the things too, because understand that when the cave beasts stole us from Africa, they separated us in so many different tribes that we had a big piece of the truth. And now we have a little bit of truth here, a little bit of truth here, a little bit of truth here, a little bit of truth here. And therefore, we have to collect all our truths together to make a big whole. Because the cave beasts did a number on us. They took away our culture. First of all, they stole us away from our land. They stole us away from Africa, Mother Africa. They took us away from there, and then they took our names, because we had beautiful names like Shawatiga, and then they gave us names like Lisa. That's a cave beast name. Okay, so don't adopt a cave beast name and just get your own African name. So this is why Shaquita is not a cave beast name. You'll never find a cave beast named Shaquita. Okay, so I like the fact that we're taking our names back and we're not calling ourselves any names that's associated with the cave beast. Now, here's another thing I want to point out is that when they took us, they took our names, they took our culture, they took us away from our motherland. But what they also did was they took away our spirituality and they took away the things that we did, our language. They taught us this barbaric thing that we have now called English. This was not our original language. And so they just took our entire identity and stripped us of everything that made us African and then turned us into, I guess you can say, this bastard replica of a brown cave beast. I mean, I don't understand another way of putting it, but that's just what they did. And so here you have to go to different types of cultures and sectors in the Black conscious community, or shall I say the still in African conscious community, and you have to pick little bits and parts and put them together as a whole. So you have a little bit of the Nation of Islam, you have a little bit of the Hebrew Israelites, you have a little bit of the 5%ers, and so on and so forth. Okay, so you have to, there's a long list of Black organizations, and you have to study each one and take the truth, the obvious truth from them, and then you make a whole, and then that's when you go back to the original knowledge of our people before we were stolen by the wicked, savage cave beasts. Now, this book right here is called Yeshua, the Hebrew Messiah, or Jesus, the Christian Christ. And this is what the book looks like. Let me show you right now. See? And that right there is Ben Ammi Israel. And right here is Yeshua ben Yosef. And so even when, see, nothing the cave beasts have is original. Nothing they have is original. Everything they had, they stole from us. Everything. I don't care. Well, the only thing they have not stole from us is their bras and their underwear. That's their stuff. They can have that. They totally created that, among some other savage creations, but we created everything else. We were the first to go to the moon. We were the first to try time travel, okay? We were the first to travel the world. I don't understand how they say Christopher Columbus discovered America, when it's actually we're the ones who discovered all of the continents in this world. We were the first to go to America, South America. Now, these are not the original names of these continents. These are the names that the cave beasts gave it. But the only way I can teach it to you is by giving it to the name that you're familiar with. But if you want to know the true names of these actual continents, I'm going to provide a link below in the description box, okay? So you'll know the true teachings. And with one thing with Dr. Malachi York, before they wickedly incarcerated him for something he didn't do, he taught us a lot of the original languages that these continents and the people and the tribes within these continents are really called. So therefore, his teachings are not going to be forgotten. And basically, we are in the Nuwaubian nations. They are going to have a lot of truth in them as well. And I will talk about that too, because a lot of the Nuwaubians had a lot of science that they taught, and I'm going to teach that as well. But anyway, I have so much information to teach the stolen Africans, so trust me, I have staying power. The cave beast is not going to run me away. I don't care what they say to me and what names they call me. It doesn't bother me. I don't care, because I know that they're just afraid because the truth hurts. That's all it is. So the man that the cave beasts know as Jesus Christ, his real name is Yeshua ben Yosef. He was a Jewish man, a Jewish prophet. Now, what happens is that the cave beasts did not have an identity, and so they have to turn Yeshua's name into a Greek name, and that's how you got Yeshua to Jesus, okay? And then they had to turn him from black to white. So if you look at the original paintings in Africa, you'll see that Yeshua ben Yosef was a black man with a black beard and black woolly hair. It even says so in the Bible as well, with dark skin. He of course was muscular, and he wasn't anorexic like the white Jesus that the cave beasts worship. It was nothing like that. And so what the cave beasts did was they looked at this beautiful, beautiful African man, and they couldn't identify with him. They couldn't even pronounce Yeshua. They couldn't even say that. So that's the reason why they changed Yeshua ben Yosef's name to Jesus, because it's more easy for them to say Jesus than Yeshua. So basically they changed Yeshua's name and they turned it to a Greek name, and then they had the nerve to turn this beautiful black African god, okay, with woolly hair and a woolly beard and mustache and everything like that, and big brown nice muscles, and he was nice and thick and really big, and he turned him into this small anorexic pale blonde cave beast. It's like oh my god, it's like, you have to understand that the cave beast have to have an identity, because he doesn't have anything that's original. Everything he thinks is original, he stole it from other cultures, other people, and other places. Nothing he has belongs to him. He has not invented anything except for minute stupid stuff like bras and things like that. I can go on and on. I think I'm going to do a video on all of the little minor things that the cave beasts have invented that really does nothing for society. Okay, but I don't want to basically compact that into this video, because I have so much to talk about in reference to this book. Now, the book is really good. It's not that thick. Okay, and as you can see, I've been doing a lot of reading in it, because I did a lot of bookmarks in here, and I have did a lot of highlighting here, a lot of important things here. This is really a good book. What this book is basically saying, oh, here was a nice picture, where it goes. What this book is basically saying is talking about how great and powerful Africans are and were, and how when we created, or when we made the cave beasts, they just got out of control and they just started rewriting history and herstory. So this book is basically telling you the origin of Yeshua, which is also known as Jesus. Okay, Jesus was a black man, and God is black, and basically God did not create the cave beasts. We created the cave beasts, and this is the reason why we're going through a little bit of hardship right now, because God is punishing us for creating the cave beasts in the state right now, because it's an abomination. We were never supposed to try to play gods. We are gods. The black man and the black woman, or the African woman and the African man, the stolen African woman and the stolen African man, we are God and goddesses. We are definitely that. However, the supreme being, the supreme God, didn't like that. We got a little arrogant. Our ancestors did get a little arrogant, and then we decided that we wanted to try to play the big supreme God by creating another being, not necessarily a human being, but another being nonetheless. And this is how we created the cave beasts. And this is the punishment we're getting for letting it get out of control and not destroying the creations that we have falsely made in the first place. We never got permission from God to create the cave beasts, and that's the reason why it's all out of control. But times are changing. The weather's getting a little hot. They're not surviving long, and they're just dropping like flies, from all kinds of diseases and problems, and basically, just getting themselves in trouble and drinking all kind of things and crashing into the trees and saying that the CIA did it. Whatever. The thing about it is that they are dropping like flies, and we will take back control of this planet back to where it belongs, into the hands of the African woman and the African man. But this book goes into the whole origin of Yeshua ben Yosef, how we as Africans are the original Jews. We're not the slaves that they want us to believe, or the children of what is it? I think with Adam and Eve, you had oh my gosh, I can't believe I forgot the son that killed I'm so sorry, I forgot the name. They're saying that this is a lot what the Mormons believe, that Adam and Eve had 2 sons, and one of the sons killed the other sons, and that we are the descendants of that son that lived. I can't believe how we forgot all that, but none of that's true. That's the reason why I can't remember that person's name that they tell in the biblical stories, because it's all false. Okay, everything that you read in the white man's or the KP's Bible is not true. Okay, this is fictional stories that he created so that he can have self-esteem and that he can feel like he belongs here on this earth, and he's not an abomination of our creation. So what I highly suggest that you get this book. Like again, it says it's by Ben Ammi Israel. He is the leader of the Hebrew Israelites, and this book is called Yeshua the Hebrew Messiah, or Jesus the Christian Christ. And here's what it looks like again. Okay. So this is really a good book. I highly recommend it. I highly recommend that you buy it, read it. It'll teach you all about another story and history of how the KBs manipulates history and herstory, and it really goes into detail about how a lot of things that you're taught in the Christian church is a lot of lies, and you need to stay out of the white man's or the KP's church and go to the Black Madonna, where they teach us a different form of Christianity that is more equivalent to African civilization and African spirituality. All right, I think that's all from me today. This is Shaquita. Thank you so much for watching my video, and I will talk to you another again. Don't forget to get this book. This is a really, 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 really good book. Here we go. Okay? Until next time, my stolen Africans, Ahuru and Aquavia to all of you, my stolen African brothers and sisters here in racist America.